My dad had a saying, and I believe this very, very much, and that is, work together, play together, and pray together. And I think that is one of the better things of holding a family farm together, is to get along. And it's hard work. You're going to get dirty, but they got all kinds of soap now that'll clean you up. So, yeah, my name is Francis, but everybody calls me Rudy. I was born on the 17th of August, 1929, and I didn't move very far, but 60 rods from my home place. I married a woman by the name of Vivian, which I was very blessed to have. And we had a family of 4.
I'm Jim Maierhofer. I was born in 1941. I have 2 other brothers. One of them passed away. The other one lives next to the farmstead here. I enjoy all my grandkids and my children.
Hi, I'm Les Maierhofer. I was born in 1964. I am the oldest of the 3 kids that my parents have. I knew that there was really no place for me on the farm just because of the size of the operation. I wanted to stay close to the farm operation, so I chose a career in government service. I am the Kemble County Farm Service Agency County Executive Director. In that capacity, I administer the federal farm programs at the local level.
Hello, my name is Jeff Maierhofer. I was born in 1965, and I'm currently living on the homestead of the Maierhofer family. They settled here in 1878, so I am the 5th generation to live on this farm. I'm currently the agriculture teacher and FFA advisor for Seneca High School. I'm involved with the historical guild in town and very interested in the history of agriculture in our area.
I am Joyce Riskadal. I am the youngest of the 7 cousins in my generation of the Maierhofer family. I'm also the only cousin who has left the Seneca School District. I now live in Leland, Illinois with my husband and my children on his family farm, a Centennial farm. We farm with his parents, we own a trucking company, and I also own Country Light soy candles. We occasionally make it back here to Seneca to help my dad on the family farm.
You fed the animals before you went to school. If you had an activity, you had to schedule your farm animals to be fed because you had to get fed too. And what your mother put on the table, you ate it, if you didn't like it, because that's all it was.
Back then, my father had a cabless combine. So in the fall, especially combining beans or corn, he would come back late at night and his whole face would be black just because of the dust was, circulating in the air.
One year I was working on a 4-H project and I was knitting a sweater for the 4-H fair. And as a typical 4-H'er, I left all my projects to the last minute. So it was late June, early July when I was knitting this, and the house was dreadfully hot because there was no central air back then. And my dad, thank goodness, went out and bought a window air conditioner that we still have to this day, but he installed that window air conditioner so I could handle finishing knitting that sweater for the 4-H fair.
I have a lot of memories of my first tractor driving experience, and we were baling hay and I was going through a waterway and I couldn't reach the brake, and so we just kept going and I was being yelled at, but from that time on I learned to use the clutch and the brake right on the tractor. I remember a lot of times when I was younger, the livestock we used to have and the lessons learned from raising sheep, and they weren't always good lessons, but lessons about life and management. And I remember raising cattle when we were a kid and feeding the hogs here in this place, and we always had chickens, so we always had that appreciation for life and what hard work meant to keep things alive and keep things productive.
Hearing the story when I was born, why it was tough. Because I remember the story that my folks said when my mother got pregnant and they had no money and they had to go to see a doctor, and I guess they told the doctor, we don't have no money. And the doctor says, don't worry about it, pay me sometime. And they went on to say that things were tough, and actually, I didn't know any different. But they told a story that, I don't know what the bill was, but they told me that I carried dressed chickens and eggs to my Dr. Calder, his name, back door to pay for this guy's delivery. Now, who would do that today? I guess in my time, from maybe to tell them to get up horses, get moving, let's go, ho! And then we went to the tractors, the small tractors. I had very little experience with the horses. I drove them a little bit, but I wasn't able to participate in the farm operation with them. But then I guess from there to the horses, we went to a small tractor, which it's just unbelievable to what my dad thought, and then the communications in there, you didn't get to hear what they had out of state or what things was going on, but you watched the neighbors to see how they were doing. Well, then as I grew older, we got, well, it started out with the corn planter with 2 rows and a check wire, and after that, we went to the 4 rows, and well, when I finished, let's say, participating in the farming here, we went to 8 rows. We had 2 planters hooked together, and we thought that was terrific. Well, now, son Paul's got a 12 row, and they're 30-inch rows, and compared to the neighbor across the way, not too far, he's got 24 row, and I understand he's going to have a 36 row this year. The technology that they have now, that man can see just how deep they're planting and the type of ground that they're covering at the time, how much pressure's on the press wheels. It's just, for me, it's hard to believe how they can do too much more.
When I grew up on the farm back many years ago, we had small tractors, 2-bottom plows, 2-row corn planters. Today we got 400 horsepower tractors, 24-row planters. Everything is automatic. Back then, when I was a kid, it took you a day or 2 days to plant a field of corn. Today it takes hours. So there are some of the things that I can't comprehend, but I have to go with the flow of today's technology.
I think one of the main differences is the size of the equipment and the technology that's behind using some of this equipment. You know, your combines and your planters, they have monitors. We're back, even when I was a kid, 40, 50 years ago, it was just, by gosh, by golly, I'm driving straight. Hopefully I'm planting at the right rate. Hopefully the combine is set at some settings that are okay and acceptable. Now the combine, it can tell you the moisture, it can tell you how fast you're going, it can tell you, what your yield is at a specific point in that field. So the technology and the size of the equipment are 2 of the main big differences I've seen. It's going to depend upon the younger generations, what their knowledge is to advance it. But it's going to be hard to believe, at least equipment-wise, how it can be improved. We all know that the world population is growing exponentially, and you have all kinds of data and reports that there's going to be a food shortage in, let's just say, 2050 or 2099. So things are going to have to
probably on the production yield side change quite a bit, but equipment-wise, you know, some of that technology I can't imagine.
I think the future of agriculture and the future of farming in this area and all across the globe actually is going to be based on technology. And that technology is going to be mechanical technology with autonomous tractors, with autonomous harvesters, things that we can use to decrease the stress of the labor of the physical person doing the farming. But it's also going to take a whole bunch of biotechnology involved in the technology in our crops to raise more from an acre than we did last year, more from a particular body of water than we've had to before. We're going to have 9 billion people on this earth. That's about 2 billion more than we have right now. And somehow we're going to have to feed them, or there's going to be mass chaos on this earth. And somehow we have to learn to protect our environment. We're going to have to learn how to make more food, how to adjust to weather changes that we're going to have, and make all that possible to feed 9 billion people. That's quite a task that we're going to take on. But hopefully through agriculture education and improved farming methods, we're going to be able to do that.
My sons, grandsons, granddaughters, whoever's out there that will stay on the farm and maybe live in this house that's on the farm set here and take advantage of what their grandfather and their grandparents made for them so they could enjoy their life as being on a farm and also enjoying the world as is.
I think this is I would be, or our kids would be, the 5th generation of the Maierhofer farm. One thing I see the Maierhofers have is that we're deeply rooted. We got sentimental value to the farm. A lot of other families that are so-called absentee from the farm are quick to sell it, but I really don't see that my relatives down the road are going to do that. So I think it'll be here for another 4 to 5 generations.
Well, I just hope that north of Seneca here that there's it can still stay with the name of the Maierhofer. I guess it goes back to as you get older, you have to appreciate the name and the family. So I think that's what I'd like to see. And I guess I plan on staying here till God calls me. Amen.